What is up, everybody? So, should I day trade? This video is going to go in two different directions. This is for people who've never seen my channel. This is sort of a generic title, so this is kind of catchy. Should I day trade? So, for those of you who accidentally stumble across my channel, I'm going to address you first, and for those of you who are subscribers and want to scalp like me, I'm going to address you second. So for those of you who are just considering day trading, should you do it? No, you shouldn't do it. And the reason I say that is I was watching some YouTube videos from other traders. My YouTube feed is littered with material from other traders, and I do like to comb through it to see what's going on. Maybe there's some gold out there. Maybe there's some bullshit out there that's a good laugh. Now, there's definitely garbage, trading garbage out there, like garbage advice that's very generic. People want you to buy their courses, their materials, and they, those videos where they're saying, make $500 a day trading, or $1,000 a day trading, and just fucking be wary about those types of videos. Those of you who are more experienced, you can probably see where I'm going here. There's guys out there that are attempting to day trade by using just, candlestick patterns or technical analysis. And I watch some of these guys, and I watch some of these guys trade the market. They don't see what's going on. And for those of you who are not familiar with my channel, I use a lot of tape reading and order flow to make my day trading decisions. And that's how the market really moves. And there's guys out there that are doing this, and there's guys out there that are, I'm sure, day trading successfully without order flow. But the thing is, they're not seeing the market for how it really is. And if you have the ability to see the game at a deeper level, why would you not want to do that? You are at a disadvantage. So that's my thing about it. When I watch these guys scalp using just candlestick patterns, I couldn't fucking do that because you can't see what the hell's really going on. So if you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, you can go through my channel. There's some older videos, charts versus Dom. Those probably need to be updated, but if you want to kind of compare the two, you can probably check one of those videos out. But I was watching this one guy he was talking about candlestick patterns and why professionals use candlesticks over line charts. And there's a comment I saw in the video, and it went like this. It wasn't constructed exactly like this, but he said, "I lost my job and have no other choice but to invest. Great content. Thank you for all your knowledge," is basically what this guy said. This guy is desperate. That's what I get from this line right here. This guy is desperate to do something. He has money. He lost his job. He doesn't have a job. He's got all these bills. He's fucking scared. And he's going to try to trade. So he's going to probably lose his money. And he does have another choice. He just hasn't sat there and really thought about this shit. So with this whole COVID-19 thing and everybody losing their jobs, people are turning to this. Now, if you have the free time and you generally want to learn it, that's one thing. But I just want to say to anybody who's in this for the fucking money, you're going to learn quickly that this is fucking very hard. It's not easy money, and it's going to take you years before you start to actually become consistent and are able to do this for a living. Okay? That's the reality of it. Okay? So I want you to be wary about all this shit you see, the courses you may buy about easy day trading strategies, chances are it's probably bullshit, okay? And from my perspective, if they're not talking about order flow and clearly explaining trades to you, then that's not going to help you at all. If anybody's showing you on a chart that they bought here and sold there, that's not going to fucking help you. If anybody shows you I got in here and got out here because of this technical indicator, that's not going to help you. The market conditions change. These shits can fucking fail. But then again, I have my own methodology and opinions on shit, okay? So there are ways to do things without order flow, but in my opinion, you're not seeing the actual bigger picture of how the markets really fucking work. So why are you going to play a game against professionals who are smarter than you when it comes to the markets, who have more money than you, and more importantly, they have more fucking experience than you? You are literally going into an arena with professionals, and you are going to get murdered, okay? It's like playing professional sports, you know. You gonna go out onto a professional baseball field and hit homers? Probably not, okay? You're competing with professionals. You have to realize that. And the market doesn't give a fuck about you. And then also, on top of that, you're gonna have some sort of like psychological, emotional issues you're gonna learn about and you're gonna have to work on. Because if you're stubborn about shit, you're gonna get nowhere. So there's a whole slew of shit you got to deal with if you want to get into day trading. And also, the thing about day trading is the more trades you take, the more risk you're taking, okay? You think day trading is, you know, especially scalping, and that's a misconception with my channel. You think that maybe scalping is a low risk type thing. It's not. The more of these trades you take, the more risk you're taking on, okay? You have to perform multiple times a day, 5 days a week, and that's not fucking easy. Whereas if you're maybe swing trading, you only have to get into a trade maybe once, twice, 3 times a week. That's it. Whereas if you're scalping like me, it's nonstop performing, and performing at your peak levels is fucking difficult. Okay, so be wary about shit. I've lost money on bullshit courses when I first got into this. And those of you who have experience, a few years under your belt, probably have done the same shit. So just keep that in mind. If you're doing this out of desperation, don't fucking do it. This is going to take years. It's going to take years to fucking day trade successfully. Okay? If it takes a year in a professional environment at a prop desk, because it does at times, it'll take about a year for guys to really start to become consistent. What makes you think you can do it in less time on your own without being in a professional environment? Okay? It's going to take you longer as a retail trader. So let's move on. I do talk with traders who have many years of experience, who aren't consistent. I've talked to guys with, 3 years, 5 years, even 10 years who aren't consistent, who have been trying to do this for that long. So why they haven't been consistent, I don't know. There are all sorts of things going on, but it's pretty fucking common, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing wrong with having several years under your belt without being consistent. I've been in the same boat, okay? I'm a consistently profitable trader, but I do make stupid fucking mistakes, okay? I can wipe out 2 to 3 days in one stupid fucking trade at times. And that's something I know I got to work on. So as far as dealing with stupidity, that's fucking tough. Okay, it seems like it's common sense. But if you don't get enough sleep or you feel a little off, you start making stupid decisions. There's certain days where you know you got it and you can do it, And some days you can't just see the market right. So don't think you're going to be able to get into this and do it and just kill it every fucking day once you figure it out, because that's just not reality. Okay? And really what you do outside of the trading room is what's going to improve you. I'll spend several hours after the trading day reviewing, tagging, and building playbooks on my trades, which keeping track of your statistics is huge. So it's a lot of fucking work. Anybody that tells you you can just make money in the first hour and then you're done for the day, that's bullshit. Over time, you can get to that level, but as a new trader, that's pure bullshit. I'm just letting you know. And you know what? Some guys might. They might be getting lucky. Some guys might be able to do it. But for most of you, it's bullshit. So let's be real about it. So let's move on to those of you who want to scalp. I tend to sell a lot of jigsaw platforms. So with those of you who are familiar with my channel, and you want to scalp because I scalp, there's a lot of misconceptions with what I do. Okay. I sell a lot of jigsaw platforms because that's what I use, because I've talked to a lot of traders who bought it because of my channel, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to understand something. You know, I share my trades. I'm transparent about it. I can break it down and explain it to you in a way that it makes fucking sense on a different level. For example, there's this guy I've been tweeting with. He's awesome. And I'm going to use this as sort of a testimonial. He was telling me how he's been taking these one-tick trades in the micros, and he wants to hold them longer and all that shit. And I broke down what he needs to start doing, finding the best trades of the day, playbooking them, tagging them, how to keep track of them, and how to look at it on a weekly statistical basis. And I shared an example of my playbook stats from that week. And he said, hey, many thanks for these inspiring words. My idea with the one-tick trade was to get into the game better and to have experiences in real trading. I've been dealing with futures for years, but in fact, I have not yet found a system, not a playbook, which would be systematic and above all successful. Your videos and informations have increased my understanding of the process enormously, and I'm now reading the market much better than a few weeks ago. Trading is really fun when understanding the connections. I will follow your advice, and I'm curious to see where it leads me. All the best and kind regards, Wolfgang. Thank you, Wolfgang. I appreciate that. I get people who tell me how much it's really helped. There's guys that donate to me on Coffee that tell me how much my channel helps. I'm glad. I'm really happy that I can help you see it for what it is. But don't get too fucking excited. Don't get too excited, okay? Man, I really wish Jigsaw would pay me, because a lot of people are buying this shit because of my channel. Just don't get excited about scalping because I make it look easy and it makes sense. It makes too much sense, I guess you could say. It's fucking challenging, okay? It's really difficult, and there's a lot you guys don't see. Okay, so I do work with traders, one-on-one from time to time in my trading room, and a lot of these guys, when I'm sitting there narrating the market live time, and I'm dealing and I'm talking to them about the price action, the order flow, what's going on, it takes these guys a while to really figure out what the fuck I'm doing. So just because you watch my videos doesn't mean you're going to be able to just do this, okay? There's a misconception with scalping. Some guys think you can just scalp wherever you would like. That's not true. It can take me 30 minutes, an hour to find a good scalp. Sometimes they're back to back. I'm a momentum scalper. So I'm looking for an area, and that's a misconception. I don't trade with momentum. I trade before the momentum. So I'm looking for momentum before it happens. So that's sort of my methodology. That's how I do it. Easier said than done. That's for fucking sure. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot that I see that I can't explain clear enough to you guys, especially if you haven't watched the ES for several years like I have. There's no replacement for screen time. You've got to watch these markets for a year, 2 years before you really start to understand. A helicopter just flew over. You have to watch these markets for a year or two before you really start to get its behavior. And then all of a sudden this COVID-19 thing hits, and shit's different. It's different. So there's no replacement for screen time. It's tough. It's really hard. It is. It's a motherfucker. And then dealing with yourself, that's a real motherfucker too. And I don't talk enough about that. I don't talk enough about dealing with your emotions, because you will have emotions. You will make really stupid decisions. And all the traders I work with, they make stupid decisions. I make stupid fucking decisions, okay? But I identify it, I'm not stubborn about it, and I work on it. So you have to constantly self-diagnose yourself. And that's pretty difficult. So you have to realize that, I don't know, there's something about trading that really messes with you mentally. And you have to desensitize that feeling. And the only way that's going to happen is just through doing this over and over and over and over and over. And constantly tweaking and making slow progression. So just because you see what I'm doing doesn't mean you're going to be able to do this. And I mean, for those of you who are getting stoked and excited that you found a channel that's showing you guys something you've never seen before and it makes a lot of sense, don't rush out there and buy Jigsaw. Don't rush out there and open up an account. Okay? This is fucking difficult. You really need to think about this. Are you honestly committed to doing this for a few years? You may say yes now, but think about that. A couple of years of not making shit, maybe even losing money, you know? Think about it for a minute. Are you really willing to put in several years? And then, not to mention, this is a full fucking time gig. It definitely can be. So you got to have some sort of income. This is very difficult to get in, and if you don't have the time to do this and have another source of income or working a part-time job, it's going to be almost impossible. And honestly, working with and talking with a lot of traders, a lot of guys just don't want this bad enough. There's guys who I've spent a lot of time with that just disappear. That's kind of frustrating on my behalf. Personally, I don't like wasting hours of my time trying to help somebody and then they fucking disappear, right? But then again, that's because they start to realize it could be several things. A lot of guys may jump from system to system. You might be one of those guys. You found my channel. You're like, okay, this makes sense. I'm going to do it. And you're just trying out all these systems, and then you realize that this is fucking hard, and just because you understand bids and offers and market orders doesn't mean you really truly understand the game that they're playing. Because there is a game being played at a more complex level which like a good video I have is spoofing. That's a psychological thing larger traders do to trick other traders. There's a lot of tricks being played. And being able to process order flow and to really make sense of it, to build a story, that takes years of staring at these numbers coming in to really put it together and to really make sense of it. So just because you know what a bid and offer is and how they interact with market orders, and maybe they're pulling or stacking, that, yes, that can mean one thing, but it can mean something else in different context. So you have to realize that just because you watch a few of my videos doesn't mean that you know how to read the shit appropriately. So keep that in mind. This is a real motherfucker. So should you day trade? How committed are you willing to be? You can say you are, but really deep down inside, you're going to, throughout several years, you're going to go through every fucking emotion imaginable. Anger, excitement, frustration. You feel like you're not progressing. You feel like you can't do this. You're going to fucking think every fucked up thought there is. I've thought about quitting a lot. I've doubted my abilities quite often. Still do at times. But pushing through is what makes the fucking difference, and doing the work outside of the markets. I mean, if you're not doing jack shit outside of the markets, if you're not recording your trading day, if you're not reviewing your trades, if you're not putting together a playbook of your best trades, if you're not naming your best trades, then you don't know what the fuck works and what doesn't work. Because you need to know. You need to know the stats. This is a fucking business. If you're going in there and making a lot of money in a business, like if you sell products, well, if you don't know which product sells better than the other product, then what the fuck are you doing? You could be leaving a lot of money on the table, or you could be losing a lot of money because you're not putting more production in product A over product B. So this is a fucking business, and a lot of people who work for other people aren't used to being their own boss. And I'll have to admit that, like, I've always been somewhat lazy when it comes to doing my own thing. And just being your own boss and doing what you have to do is tough. It is. It's real tough, but you need these routines. And I still occasionally slack on certain things I know I need to do. And that's not okay. And I know that's not okay. So it's a lot of work. And that's the reality of it. And if you don't agree with me, that's fine. But I'm just being transparent and real with you because I talk to a lot of traders. And quite frankly, we all go through the same fucking cycle of bullshit. So should you day trade? Well, I mean, pretty much all of you are going to say, yeah, I want to, but I fucking guarantee that most of you aren't going to follow through with it. And that's not me being a dick or an asshole. It's just something I notice. You know, I talk to a lot of traders, and some of these guys are fucking stubborn as hell, and they want to do what they want to fucking do, or this ain't working, so I'm going to try this, and they're not putting in the work outside of the markets, or they just start trading, changing systems, or they have negative self-talk. If you're pessimistic and you're one of those type of people that don't believe you can do it, or you're kind of pessimistic and negative in general, that's going to seriously dampen your progress in trading. So I'm just being real with you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are buying Jigsaw, which is pretty fucking expensive, to try this scalping thing. And what you see isn't the whole fucking thing. Just remember that. There's a lot going on. What you don't see is how many fucking hours I put into this shit after the markets close. And just all the bullshit I've gone through. Like I've still make stupid mistakes. I know they're stupid, and if I get rid of all my trading errors and my stupidity, I would be doing fantastic at this. And that's just something you got to work on. It's a real motherfucker. So should you day trade? No, I don't think you should. So for those of you who insist on doing it, I wish you the best of luck. Just remember that this is all up to you. You got to really want this, and this ain't about the money. Fuck the money. That'll come later. You need to learn to fall in love with it for what it is. And the thing is, people don't love something they're not good at. But you've got to manifest it, and you've got to really make yourself want it. So you need to brainwash yourself into wanting this. So whatever you got to do, mindset, brainwash yourself into really wanting this. And anytime you start to doubt yourself, you need to remind yourself why you want it and why you fucking love it. And I think that burning passion alone will carry you through to hopefully reach your trading goals. And some of you may just not have the talent for it. I hate to say it. I don't think anybody can do this. I think some people just don't have the fucking talent for it. But you won't know until you try. So anytime you're really starting to think you need to give up, you need to snap out of it. Because that's what's carried me on this long, is mindset. So with that, I think I'm done ranting here.